Davey, we're so happy to have you here today, man. Davey is, we've all partied together now at the DBC NYC situation there in New York. It's coming up on a year, man, and we were just before we started recording, we were chatting it up because I have this awesome Schecter custom bass, one of Johnny's basses that's matte black and it's signed by the whole band. And Davey gave it to me on stage because I won the hosted the game show that he hosted up on stage, and it was freaking awesome. So I show it off to everybody. So that's why you're my favorite person, Davey, by the way. No.
We were just talking about how that was impromptu. Sin, I guess I'll let Davey tell it, but Sin basically was like, dude, we got to give away this shit. Can you do something? Davey's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And just took the mic.
Totally unplanned. Like he came up to me and he was like, man, I got to do this giveaway. I don't even know how to do this. And I was like, why don't we, make a game out of it? I do this little thing on my Twitter spaces for my NFT community. I used to do it like, on tour when I was bored with my bandmates and stuff. But, yeah, and then it just got up there with Brian and we just drank a bunch of shots and winged it. And it ended up being super fun. And for anybody listening that doesn't know, we just basically I would rapid fire just random questions. And you'd have to answer coherently. The answer had to make sense, and you could only do it within a certain time frame. If you had to think too long, you're out. So it'd be like favorite month, favorite year, favorite pair of pants, and then the question would get so weird that it would throw them off. And we were able to just cut so many people, and then a few people really hung in there. And it kind of blew my mind a little bit. And it was hard for me because I was slowly slipping away from being sober, trying to think what am I even saying right now? But it worked. It was great.
We had to answer fast. And there was in front of me, I don't remember how many people there were. Hopefully it's not recorded so I don't get all the facts wrong, but there was 3 or 4 people in front of me, and dude, you were pretty brutal. Dude, if they weren't answering right away, it was boom, he's out. And it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that's the magic of it. It's it's that quick, the first thing that comes to mind without thinking about it, that's how you get the funniest answers. So, I mean, it's like that too on the spaces and stuff what we were doing. I would just be super quick, Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then, that went on until, I don't even know, 2 a.m. or something, didn't it? Or am I just crazy? I felt that went late.
I think so. I think by the time we had all kind of got back together and just convened and talked about the night, it was 3 a.m. or something. And we were we were all just what just happened? That was crazy.
That morning we're at the diner and it's 4 or 5 a.m. and the people working there did not want to be there. They did not want to see us there. And dude came over. He's like, what you guys want? All mad that we even showed up to the diner, which was weird. And we were all so tired because we hadn't slept all week. And I reached over to grab something and I knocked over this glass of water that was only 12 ounces, but 44 ounces spilt out of it, dude.
Yeah,
it was
that's how it is.
everywhere. He was so mad. Comes over and slams the rag down on the thing. Yeah.
Those late night diners sometimes, man. I feel like in LA we'd always go to late night diners and stuff, and it would be you're pretty sure everybody that's working that night is on a certain amount of meth that should be lethal, but and you're just trying to get breakfast, but you're hoping you don't find anything in your food, or get stabbed or something by some transient that's coming in there at 4 a.m.
I don't go to Waffle Houses, bro. That's why you don't go to Waffle Houses.
So you never know what comes out at night, man. A lot of times when I was playing for Korn, we would stop at truck stops in the middle of the night with our buses just to go and grab snacks, kind of look around. And that's something you usually do on smaller tours when you're driving van and trailers, because you just have to. But on bus tours, with other bands I've toured, that's not usually commonplace. But with Korn, we'd stop all the time because Jonathan always liked to check out these crazy truck stops. And he would always you'd just be all right, there's definitely a John Wayne Gacy in here, some kind of crazy, midnight truck driver murderer. And we had this crazy security guard. He's my friend. He's not crazy, but he's got a lot of energy. And we get off the bus and he would just go flying in, to look at everything, and he would be pantomiming kicks and punches, and he would almost take my whole face off. And then Jonathan's like elderly like grandfather was there, and he almost like kicked him in the face. And it's just
What
like
the hell?
I mean, I wish I had like a hidden camera of all these like stops because it was just like stuff straight out of a movie.
Oh my
Do you ever tell
gosh.
that? Do you ever tell that guy, dude? We gotta just stop with the truck stop thing.
No, we kind of look forward to it. It's you get kind of bored after a while. You're like, all right, dude, let's see what kind of madness Konyo gets us into.
Oh my gosh,
that's
dude,
so
that is
rad.
so funny.
So how did you okay, well, let me preface this by saying we talked to Brandon Seller a little bit ago, and I kind of looked up a few things on like Wikipedia, you know, like I wanted to come up with some cool questions. Well, everything I read on there was fucking wrong.
Oh,
Like it was all just false information. So
on
I'm like
Brandon?
yeah, so I'm asking Brandon these questions, and he's like, no, none of that's true. It ended up being really funny. He's like, yeah, just ask me all incorrect questions. This will be fun. But
That's great. Brandon's
I
already
was
funny
reading.
as it is, so that's perfect.
Oh, he's hilarious. I had read on Wikipedia, so grain of salt, that you were actually working with Avenged Sevenfold as a tech, like when you met Korn, and is that how like all that began, or what was the
Yeah,
story there?
dude. So it went from like being one of the worst choices I ever made to like working out into all these great things. And I say that because I mean I've been friends with the guys, the Avenged guys, since I was like 18 years old. Like when I first moved to Orange County, we just all had mutual friends. You know, I would hang out with Jimmy a lot or Cam Rackham, and you know we would
That's
just
so rad.
we just always were around each other, the same circles. And they started doing a mobile game with a friend of mine who's a bunch of his mobile games I scored and did the sound design for. So they met, started doing it, and then I got brought in to do that. And somehow in that conversation, Johnny's like, "I need a new tech. I don't have anybody right now. If you want to do it." And I'm at this point, I'm signed to Metal Blade with my band, and we're doing like, you know, like I said, like van and trailer tours. We're playing with like Dimmu Borgir. So I'm like, man, I want to get in the buses. I want to go on these bigger tours. You know, not
That's right.
realizing that if you go out as a tech, you're getting up early, you're going to bed late, you're doing all this crap. So that already is not me. Like, you know, I'm not a morning person. That's the wrong side of stage for me. But then like all the other techs, well, not all of them, I should say. Some of the older guys that were on there, they had this like little clique they called the Brotherhood of Doom, and I don't think any of them were with them anymore, so I don't mind saying this, but they were like already pissed that the band brought their friend on to do something, you know. So they were just messing with me all the time, like sabotaging stuff, like messing up my changeovers and hiding cables. And I think I'm going crazy. I'm like, what is this? Sucks.
Oh,
Then I started picking it up that they were like messing with me. So like it got to
Oh my
like
god.
the boiling point in like Arizona. It was like 112 degrees, and I realized what was going on. And I'm ready to like kill this guy. I'm pacing around, and we had a security guard with us, Big T, and he looked at me and he was just like, don't do it, dude. Like, I know you want to, but don't, it's not worth it. And I was just like, all right. So that whole situation. And then we jump onto, you know, Mayhem Festival, and I'm a Christian. So a couple of the guys in Korn are too. And what I didn't know is that they were doing like these little like get-togethers where you know you'd read like a verse or something and pray together. It's cool because you don't have to go super in depth, you know, like I don't have a very high attention deficit, so I get in there, we just get like a little chunk of wisdom out of it, you know, like
right.
how to persevere through your day better or something. So that was awesome, and we really bonded on that. And then when I got home, Brian, Head, and Fieldy and I stayed really tight, and Head would always come out and spend time with my family and stuff. And I started working on The Voice, and I was like kind of managing the contestants. So I did like 6 seasons. And I bring Head down to set. You know, we roll around the Universal backlot on a golf cart and get yelled at by the actors trying to do the Psycho House stuff for the tram tourists, and like
Oh my,
you know just
yeah.
having all kinds of fun. And then I was like, dude, I need a break, man. I'm just working so much. I'm so burnt out. I haven't been on the road for a couple of years. I want to go back out. And Brian's like, yeah, just come with us, dude. Just come hang for fun. So I get on the bus, and we're about a week in, and then Fieldy walks up and he's like, dude, we're not really digging this keyboard player that's filling in right now. He's just not the right match for us. Like, do you want to do it? And I'm just like, oh, like I don't know, man. I mean, I play the keyboard in the studio, like I program with it, but I'm a guitar player, you know, since I was like 6 years old. So I was like, I can't say no to Korn. Let's do it. So I just figured it out, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
On the
rad.
fly?
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. I went home and I made this whole setup just for them, and I learned everything I could by ear. And then I sent some videos to Monkey, and Head was like, Monk said he's like he likes it. You can come out with us to Europe if it works out. You're in. So that's how it went down. I went. And I was with them for a while, like up until the pandemic. So, um,
Do you remember
That's
playing?
awesome.
Did you play in Idaho then?
what was the Idaho show you remember?
It
Well,
must have,
Korn, they were headlining,
Okay.
and I'm trying to remember who they played with, but it was the first time I'd ever watched Korn on a headline or as a headliner.
Was it
I'd
outside?
watched, yeah, in Pocatello, and it was like kind of up on this hill. It's like a newer venue, outdoor
the Portneuf. Is it the Portneuf? The
Health Trust, yeah,
Health Trust.
amphitheater.
The Mike
Amphitheater.
Portnoy Amphitheater. No, I'm just
The
kidding.
Mike Portnoy Amphitheater. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
No, what? Do you remember what band was on it? Because I could tell you if I was there by what bands we played with most of the time.
Oh,
Maybe.
dude.
I'll
Here,
have
let
to-
me keep talking.
I'll
Keep
try to
talking.
look it
I'll
up.
Google it. You guys
Yeah.
keep talking. I'll Google it.
Yeah, I usually end up like looping a lot of the same venues, but like it's like sometimes people will be like, "Oh, I saw you guys here," and I was like, "Oh, I wasn't there at the time." If you were playing with like Faith No More or something,
Yeah.
You can remember by like the ticket. That makes sense though.
Yeah,
But that was a hell of a show, man. I was blown away actually because I'd watched Korn open for Avenged one other time. That was the only other time I'd seen them, and
right.
I swear they like tin can the opener sometimes and just kind of make them sound shitty so the opener sounds good. Do they do that as a tech? You probably know. Do they do that on purpose? I swear to God. Because I swear that Avenged didn't sound as good as they normally do as a headliner when they open for Metallica too. And I'm like, I swear they're doing this shit on purpose.
Well, I
It
mean,
was
a
in
lot of times.
June. Oh, sorry. Not to interrupt you guys. I was just
No,
going to
no.
say it's in June 2017.
Yeah, I
So
was
I don't
there
know.
then. I was there.
Oh,
Hell
dude,
yeah.
we didn't even know, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, I played for them from like 2016 to whenever, like halfway through the pandemic is where we figured out they weren't going to do live keyboards anymore, so they stopped utilizing that. I think they're on like tracks now or something. But
Oh.
what was I going to say? Oh, you were asking about like if they nerfed the like opening bands.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good.
I know a lot of times like headlining packages, they won't let the smaller bands bring like a full stage setup. So like, they'll bring their own sound guy and everything, but they won't have like, certain lights, certain effects because, that needs to be reserved for like the main headliner so that there's this like exponential build up to the end of the night. So I think that's as bad as it gets, but I don't know, like the sound is more going to just be on like what sound guy they have, So I'm pretty sure everything's still turned on the same, but they don't have as long of time to not only set up but sound check like we would,
They're like, I'm just gonna flip this one switch right here.
Yeah,
I swear that's what it is, dude. I have a conspiracy theory about it. It's like,
yeah. There's definitely some politics, but it's never meant to harm the younger bands. From what if somebody's out on tour with the band, it's usually because they want them there. Their management wants them there. They have a relationship. Right. So, I don't think that usually stuff goes south after the tour starts, and then you start seeing what the problems might be. Yeah, dude, like, I mean, I wouldn't even say that the techs would know that, like us musicians would, like, because we hear the management talking and stuff, but the techs are it's just like, all right, go do your job in your world and we'll stay in our world, that's usually how, like, that is. We all, like, respect and care for each other, but it's, like, so disconnected, it's two different mental states. That's why I was like, dude, it's the wrong side of the stage for me, because, like, techs are like real aggressive, there's a lot of older cats are like smoking and just real grumpy, and they're just trying to, because they're busting their asses, so they're grumpy, they're just like fighting through it. We're like trying to stay in that head state where we're like, we got to go perform, like with Korn, we're playing like an hour and 45 minutes sometimes, and I'm like, the last thing I want to think about is like anything other than that. I got to go up there and put my best foot forward. I shared the side of the stage with Monkey, so like if I'm giving off that energy, Monkey's gonna feel that too. So it's like, I have to be on my A game, so they don't even have to think about me, like stuff like that.
That's crazy. That's stuff that like as consumers we don't ever think about or kind of get that inside information on. That's interesting. Yeah,
that's so that ended around COVID, and then but then you went with Five Finger Death Punch. Then after that is what.
That was the first tour I did since the pandemic basically was like concluded or whatever. They decided to stop like jerking everyone's chain that it was as crazy as it was. So like then because I got offered a bunch of tours and stuff during, you know, little spurts here and there. There was something in like Japan. And I was just like, I feel like this is going to get canceled. I don't want to do it. You know, I don't want to deal with the travel and the politics. So that's when I got approached by some people about my art to do like an NFT line. So I kind of just poured all my focus into that. And I worked on that project for most of the time, and my solo project, All the Damn Vampires. So I was like,
yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I've been listening to some of that. I really like it.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm waiting for, man. Go ahead, give me some All the Damn Vampires.
Yeah, I had pulled it up and was listening to a couple of songs, but I'd have to look at the track list again so I could see which ones. There's a couple in there that I was like, holy shit.
I actually, as a non-musician, I actually have some critiquing to do with All the Damn Vampires.
Sure.
I'm just. Oh, I got some opinions, bro.
I love it. I love it all.
No, that's awesome.
Pacific Coast Heartbreak, that song really stuck out.
Thank you.
And then I did like Saturday too, a lot. I need to dive back in though now because now, of course, Avenged takes us on this weird fucking
oh my god,
whatever it is ride we're on, and then it's kind of making me a little more interested in this type of music anyway. You know?
Yeah.
I need to do a little deeper dive, but I've enjoyed it.
It's all relative, right? So all these guys that are playing this heavy music and doing these tours, they all listen to the stuff that I'm making. You know, like that's kind of I was like in love with like Daft Punk, M83, Kavinsky. So I was like, I want to mess with these retro synths and all this stuff. And I never knew where it would go. I was just making instrumentals, but I was nervous to release them too because like, you know, I've played guitar in like black metal bands. I've been in Winds of Plague, you know, so everybody knows me from like metal and hardcore. So I didn't know how I'd be received, but I got vocals done on Saturday, and that was like the first track I had somebody actually sing on. And we were on a day off on tour. It was like me, Head, our videographer Sebastian, and Head's friend that was going to take us river rafting in Texas. And so I was like, "You guys want to hear this stuff I'm doing? Like, I don't know how you're going to like it." So it's Saturday. I put it on. They loved it. They were like, "Let's just keep listening to this." So we listened to it like 45 times on repeat. And I was really happy to hear the response. And then I just kept going with it. More and more people like Jacoby from Papa Roach would like walk up to me. We'd be, you know, doing a festival and he's there and he's like, dude, he's like, Saturday's my shit. He's like, I listen to that song all the time, you know, like,
oh my gosh,
all these guys, you know, or I'd be like, I'd finish something and I'd go into Jonathan Davis's dressing room and I'm like, hey, can I show you this track? Let me know what you think. And I'd play him something. And he's like, this is dope, you know, like, so it's cool. Like, especially to get a really awesome response. And then like Ash from Sumerian Records reached out to me and had me do a lot of cool synthwave remixes for their bands. You know, so I've done like Black Veil Brides, Megs Myers.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun because I'll just like a remix, I'll just be like, all right, give me the vocal stems. And stems are, for anybody that doesn't know, it's just basically the audio file of that one thing. So you could have a guitar stem, drum stems, or whatever. So I get the vocal stem. And then I just don't even listen to the original, and I create a song around the vocal stem using synths and stuff, you know, make it a synthwave song. Wow. So it's really fun for me because I get to be super creative, and that's how I like to do my remixes. So you guys might be stoked on some stuff that's coming out. I can't say what the collaboration is.
Oh, nice!
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Not to mention,
I'm hyped
it's just
about
a
it.
sick name.
I know.
All the Damn Vampires. I like that a lot. That's what stuck out to me at first. I was just like, that name alone drew me in.
That's my favorite line from the movie Lost Boys. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's the last line of the film. The grandpa, he opens the fridge. They don't know that he knows this whole time. Yeah. And then he's like, one thing I never could stand about Santa Carla, all the damn vampires. the credits roll. It's like perfect.
That's a sweet, dude. That is a sweet.
Well, hopefully it's not Bad Dope again. Now I'm like all gun shy.
Stop
giving Bad Dope. But
be confident, Andy. Be confident.
I read too that you were the one behind the Deathbat video game score. Were you doing some work on that too?
Oh, okay. So what that is I'm the voice of the main character Adronicus, and a bunch of the other voices.
Oh no
There'll be-
shit.
yeah,
That's rad.
like hail to me, baby.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Adronicus, and then I would like, of course I'd get all the guys in the band. My dad is like the soldier on the ground dying. He's like, oh, and then you have
Oh
like
shit, no way.
like the witch and the the little like side cave that you can go in with the witch. That's my sister, and so like
What?
yeah,
Oh
So
my
rad.
gosh.
so I'm just grabbing like the people closest to me, and a lot of the sounds, like there's a one of the swords shoots something, and then you hear like a woo woo. Well, that's like one of Brian's like bends with his whammy bar on his guitar, and then I just turned
Oh.
it into a sound effect. But the actual like 8-bit score, that's Zachy's brother that did that, from what I understand.
Oh.
Oh. No
Yeah,
shit.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
yeah. I was low key jealous. I was like, man, I want to do it all, because I love doing the retro stuff. But he did such a good job. He really killed it. So I was more of the sound design and the sound effects, and then like that whole like witches. I don't even know what to call it. Like the little dungeon or whatever. Like all the dripping and sounds. That's all like all my sound beds and stuff.
Oh.
Dude, I was talking. We had Cam on last week, or last. I don't know if this is week episode.
Last time we recorded, yeah.
Yeah, last time. But we were talking about how all the fucking talent that just come out of that little pocket of humans over there.
Yeah.
You guys are like building video games together,
What is
and
with
like,
that?
I think we're all drawn together because we're all into like the same stuff, like we're all into just doing those things. And so if we recognize it, like, how they say like real recognizes real. Well, it's like, if you recognize that somebody's like really good at something that you're stoked about, like you want to just talk to them about it all the time and then collaborate eventually, So I think that,
Yeah.
that
So
we all
cool.
kind of were just drawn towards each other. Like, I mean, obviously Cam's an incredible artist. I used to go over to his house, and he lived with Jimmy, and we would just like, we'd watch Predator, Alien, we'd draw, we'd have some drinks. We used to smoke back then, so
Man.
we'd be smoking cigarettes, and like it was just like a cool, fun, creative environment, and we had way less responsibilities, so we're just just passing the time, having fun, going out all the time. And then now Cam's just progressed, and his art is just insane. And
Oh yeah.
I'd hope that
Dude.
I went in the same direction with my production and stuff like that. So like we kind of all just grew together.
The Cartoon Network stuff. What was that?
Oh, that's kind of crazy, man. Like the way that happened is my mom, she had this job as a medical transcriber, and the lady that sat next to her, her husband was the CEO of Cartoon Network in Burbank, and she would bring my art to work with her and just like put it up, and she's like, this is really good. Like, how old is he? And then she was tripping that I was so young, and so she showed her husband, and they offered me a job for the summer as an introduction, because they wanted to give me a job at Cartoon Network coming out of high school. So I got in there.
That's insane.
Yeah, my whole summer job was just, I had my own office. I was working on Powerpuff Girls. I was doing all the animation in betweens, and
What?
and of course
Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, they're like,
No.
yeah, it was crazy. I was working there at the same time as like Gendy Tartakovsky, and the guy that created like Ren and Stimpy was there all the time.
Oh my gosh.
It was a really cool job, but I was too young to appreciate it. And when I finished up for the summer and had to go back to school, they're like, you'll always have a job here. Just come back. And of course, what I do, I just go and join the most unstable industry ever and just start touring with music right out of high school.
I don't know if you could call it a comeback, but there feels like there's a big synth push right now. I've noticed it kind of everywhere.
Yeah. You're not imagining things, for sure. Like, it's really, right now, synthwave is so sought after. A lot of people are listening to like The Weeknd or even Miley Cyrus, and not realizing that the music behind what she's doing and a lot of the songs or Weeknd's doing is synthwave. And so like, I have a friend who he's been up on some tracks with me. We've collaborated a few times. His name's Sunglasses Kid, and he's like blowing up on like Instagram and TikTok because he does these like POV. You're in a police chase in the 1980s, and he's got his like 15-second score for that, and everybody loves it. Like, they're sharing it, and all these producers are like hitting him up, like hip hop producers, bigger artists, asking for synthwave. I just randomly got in the studio like last week with Riff Raff. Like in the middle of the night, his like manager hit me up and was like, "You have any synthwave stuff like we can come to your studio and listen to?" And I was like, "Well, I'll come up there. I got a bunch of stuff." So we were up till like 3 a.m. Me and my other producer friend Morgoth Beats, and I'm just playing him all this synthwave stuff, and he's showing me what he's working on, and it's synthwave. I'm like, this is crazy. It's like it's kind of having its day in the sun now. So I'm hoping that also translates to all the damn vampires to like, bring more awareness to that project, because that stuff's just so fun for me.
I don't want to keep you. I know you got to bounce at a certain time. I want to hear if you got anything coming up that we should be watching out for before we lose you. And want to thank you too for coming on, man.
Absolutely.
Would love to do it again.
I would too. I
Anytime you
wish
got
I
a
could
chance.
stay longer, man. This is great. I could go forever.
Tim come from a long line of bullshitters too. Like,
Oh,
that's
dude,
just how he is.
sorry, dude. Don't even, that's true. I did.
I've got a bunch of stuff coming up actually. So I'm working on another full length for All the Damn Vampires. I've got some singles in the works. I have a track with Andy James from Five Finger Death Punch. He plays the solo on it, and it's the sickest solo. So I'm just working on that. I have a heavy project, and it's like some of the heaviest stuff I've ever written, like ridiculous low tunings, breakdowns, doomy, a lot of synth that I'm adding to it. So I'm kind of blending everything. The production is on point. I'm stoked about it. I've got 7 tracks done on that. I'm going to get 10, figure out what to do with it, see who's singing on it. And then
do you need people to rap on it? Do you need rappers? Like
there's
do you need like 2 cousins that rap?
Yeah, there's a whole like trap beat part in one of the bridges before a breakdown. So
hey, I'm just saying. Me and Andy will send you some of our cousin rap stuff. Okay, you could just listen to it.
Perfect.
We wrote one rap about potatoes, and Tim asked everybody if they need a rapper now.
Dude, just in case. It's on my resume, dude. It's on my resume. Okay.
And then I'm working on a remix for some pretty awesome artists right now that I can't say, but I'm really stoked. That's gonna be really cool when that comes out. So
then we'll just have to keep our eye on it. Then sounds like people just need to keep their eye on you, Davey. Is what the real thing is.
Yeah, always, man. Like a lot of my friends that I've grown up with are always surprised. Like they're always like, "You're doing what now?" And I'm like, "Dude, just pay attention, bro." No, I'm just kidding.
right. Do better as a human.
Just pay attention.
Yeah, come on, man.
Well, I guess that would be the next question. Then is like, you got all this stuff that's going to be happening. Where are you most active? Like, where should we watch out for you? Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still really bad at Twitter. Like I'm terrible at it, as you guys probably know. Like you're like, oh, he checked my message like 2 days later. But Instagram, I just love visual things, so that's where I focus primarily. Cool. So yeah, I'm always like updating on there, even if just for a day. And then I'm gonna translate to tweeting that out as well. But the remix, the artist that's done with is pretty big. I don't think anybody will miss that when they start promoting it as well. So.
Oh snap!
Shit! I'm excited, especially after hearing all the stuff I've heard so far. So
yeah, Powerpuff Girls out of everything actually is what I'm most jacked about is the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, dude. After you get all this stuff out, we should try to get you back on and then go over all the new stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'd love to do that, Davey. Yeah,
let's plan on it
for sure.
I would love to. Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Sweet.
Thank you guys for having me, man. This is great.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, big time.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime.